Welcome to our first top tip session as part of Touring and Adventure Month. Today we're going to be hearing from two experts in the sector giving their top tips on how to sell touring and adventure holidays. So let's meet those experts. First, I've got Richard Ford, Head of Trade Sales at Newmarket Holidays. Hi, Rich.
Hi, Claire. Hi, morning.
Then I've got Ben Ittenson, Head of Global Sales at Explore.
Hi, Claire. Hi, everyone.
I'm sure they're really familiar faces to some, if not all of you. So I want to start, if I can, by forgetting the actual sales bit for a second and first taking a look at how agents might find those perfect touring and adventure customers. So what are your top tips on how they identify these customers? I mean, presumably they're not wearing a badge that says, "I love touring." So Rich, let's start with you.
Anyone can be to be honest, it's just a holiday. It sounds a bit cliche, but anybody can be a touring and adventure customer. It's just a holiday. Try not to pigeonhole people in certain respects. Obviously, if you've got customers coming in saying they want a water park in Tenerife for a week or just to go on a beach, then don't try and sell touring to them. But touring adventure is so flexible these days, and the age demographics really change, so anybody can go.
Fantastic. Yeah. And Ben, is that any different for adventure, or is that?
No, yeah, I mean, I completely agree with Rich. I mean, there is, I think, a tour for every customer. You know, there's so much product available these days, you know, of so many different durations. You know, there's literally day tours right the way up to multi-day tours of months long. So there's product, I think, for all different customers. You know, within the adventure sector, you know, that could be anywhere to climbing Kilimanjaro to walking across the Amalfi Coast. You know, everyone's perception of adventure is very, very different. You know, the things that I would say, yes, clearly they're not wearing a badge, but you know, if customers, if only they were, but if customers are certainly looking for, you know, experiential type travel, if customers are looking to travel somewhere maybe more challenging, or those bucket list trips, you know, climbing Kili or doing a safari in Africa, those types of either destinations or experiences obviously lend themselves perfectly to touring and adventure. So certainly there are, I think, pockets within what customers are looking for that naturally lend themselves more to our segment.
Great. And I guess there's it's very easy to kind of see a customer walk through the door and maybe think they're definitely not a touring customer, or they're definitely. So from an adventure point of view, like, I guess someone walks through the door and maybe they're a bit older, or they don't look very fit, or the agents might kind of just discount them and say, no, I don't think they're the right adventure customer. And I guess from the same point, you might see a young person walk in and say they're not a touring customer, because there's the misconception that everybody's old that goes on a tour. So I guess it's really key for agents to look out that they're not making those kind of misconceptions on customers.
Yeah, it surprises, certainly with our brand, with Explore, I think it surprises a lot of agents to hear that our average age is 55. Okay. You know, so, you know, within our space, there's other great competitors that we have, and maybe they're naturally attract a younger type of customer. But within that adventure sector, you know, I think we've got every demographic covered. And like I said, certainly for us, our average age is 55. So agents are often, I think, you know, quite surprised to hear that.
Yeah, definitely. And is that the same for you, Rich? Is it a surprising demographic, or?
Well, it is, and we've just had to adapt and change. Yeah, historically it used to be an older market, but we've developed our product. We need to get more creative. Two of our best sellers this year have been Africa and also India, which we're sort of informally calling our stay put tours, where you're not moving around day after day, but you've just got one night in one resort, and then you've got a week as a base in another resort, and then from that base you can go out on excursions and tours if you want, or if you don't really, just as relaxed. And that's and we've broadened our dates, and that's appealed to the family market. We've got a lot of families with school-age children booking now as well.
Brilliant. I guess that's something that I mean that most agents wouldn't automatically think of touring holidays for families, so that's brilliant. Okay, so the agent's got what they think might be the perfect customer, but what are the questions that they should be asking to make sure that that type of holiday is right for them? And as importantly, I guess, what are the answers they should be listening out for? Let's start with Adventure on this one.
Yeah, you know, obviously a lot of great qualifying questions are important up front. You know, who they're traveling with, what type of experience they're looking to have, and be ready on the front foot to answer or dispel those misconceptions that we've talked about touring, because you know touring has evolved. Everyone in the ATAS community, I know all the operators have such a wide range of product that I think we all cringe when unfortunately there's still that stigma around touring, that we're, you know, a large group of people being ushered from one, you know, from one destination to the next. It's you know, regularly not the case. So be ready on the front foot to answer those or dispel those misconceptions, I think, and a lot of great qualifying questions about what they're looking to get out of the out of their holiday.
And Rich, from a touring point of view, any really great questions that you can ask to make sure they're the right people?
Yeah, I mean, without repeating what Ben's just said, absolutely. Asking if there's anything you want to see on your bucket list, and then, you know, is there anything you really want to see? Is there a small group you want to work with, or do you want to go privately, or do you mind going in a large group? You know, answer things like that, and then you can come back with options. Say, well, this tour operator can do private tours, this one can be flexible, this one can be regimented. And again, you might sort of get some resistance on price, or don't really fancy that. But then if you break it down with everything that's included, the flights, the accommodation, the food, the tour managers, etc., you actually, and compare that to a stay put holiday, say just, you know, a beach holiday, or just a lodge break or something, and you see, well, how much more you're getting for your money. That normally wins and seals the deal.
And I think Rich just made a great point, but I think the tour manager is obviously a massive benefit from an escorted holiday on both touring and adventure. But what would you, if I said you can have 3 key benefits of taking a touring holiday, what would those 3 key benefits be, apart from obviously the fantastic tour managers?
Is that to me, Claire? Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry,
well,
sorry.
That's okay. That's fine. I do think you need to include that one still. There's tour managers of stress. We've always had tour managers, but in this current COVID times, they're going to be worth their weight in gold. If this, let's say they're going to a busy square and it's too crowded, and, you know, breaking social distancing, then they're going to go to a quieter square. If you're going to heading towards one restaurant, but it's looking too busy, then it's going to go, they can switch it. They know the local areas, they've got the local knowledge, and they can go to a quieter area. So the tour managers is one. Number 2 is that value, the fact that generally it's a group-based tour. So, you know, we're getting group rates with the airlines and the hotels. You know, you get greater buying power. And of course, like all the ATAS members, we're all fully bonded, and we've all got a flexible booking policy, so we can react to the constant changing scenario we've got at the moment.
Joy. And Ben, any different benefits within your sector in the adventure area?
Probably just group size again. So within the adventure sector, there's operators like us at Explore who've got self-guided trips, right the way through to our small group product offering with an average group size of 8 to 12. So I know as we emerge from COVID, group size will be challenged. Group size will be probably more important than it has been before for customers, and obviously as part of that, sustainable travel will be, you know, as kind of a stronger consideration, I think, for customers, and where they're looking to travel, both where they're looking to travel and how they travel, I think will be important. So group size is probably one of those other key benefits, I think, within the adventure sector.
Okay, great. So we've kind of touched a little bit on COVID there, but like, fingers crossed, and absolutely everything crossed, but we seem to be starting to come out of the pandemic, and it's hopefully almost time to start traveling again. So the agent's done a great job looking for the right customer. They've found them, they've sold in the benefits that we've talked about. But the clients have got some reservations on maybe whether the holiday is the right choice in the current climate. Sorry. So obviously we think the answer is yes, and we know why. But what confidence messages do you think that agents should be focusing on to reassure their clients and secure those bookings? Ben, let's start with you.
Yeah, well, you said the word there, reassurance. I think that's critical at the moment. Even for myself, look, planning my family holiday this year, it was a really, really important element, having that flexibility, knowing that, if I needed to change our plans, or, for force majeure, the operator needed to alter their plans to take us, then, having those kind of flexibility areas for us was a really important part of booking the holiday, and giving us something to look forward to for this year. So yeah, I'd say flexibility. I know all operators out there are now largely working within the WTTC guidelines or protocols now to operate their trips safely. But I think so when they're in destination, to make sure that they're going to be nice and safe. But I think flexibility is key at the moment. From operators knowing that they're going to get a refund, knowing that there's that flexibility should they need to change. We've introduced one. It's our COVID-19 promise, that if customers were to contract COVID or needed to self-isolate through the track and trace system, that then they get a guaranteed refund. Or if customers need to change plans right the way up to 10 days before departure, they can do so without penalty. So flexibility, I think, is key, and I know all operators within ATAS certainly have got those messages, so that they're key to understand and get those across to reassure customers that booking now is a great idea, and having something to look forward to for 2021 or even into 2022.
Yeah, absolutely. And if anyone does want to look at those flexible terms and conditions, we've got all of our members in one place for you to take a look at. So they're all on our website for you. So I guess, Rich, in a slightly different but similar, a lot of health and safety measures were brought in place to restart touring, which I know you did do last summer. So what are those key measures that were brought in, or do you think would help agents secure those customers as well?
Well, at the time, yeah, we did start last year when we were able to. So we got trips away in September to Scotland, to Italy, to Poland, to Jersey, and Northern Ireland. And at the time, so we've had some practice in doing it, which helps. And at the time, it was like, what rules are put in place of now. Obviously, this is September. We're now in March. It's 6 months ago. It's almost become sort of standard. And it was things like, obviously, wearing masks, less numbers on the coaches. So we cap numbers there. You have the same seat every single day, which most customers are creatures of habit anyway. They like the same seat, so that wasn't an issue. Face masks on the coaches. And then we've given tour manager training, and we've got extra stringent measures in place with our suppliers, the hoteliers. They must have, again, what's sort of in place commonly now, but sanitizing stations throughout the hotels, etc. The bedrooms won't be entered after the first day. You're not going to have constantly people coming in cleaning, so that's been scaled back. So these are the type of things we've put on contracts with our suppliers out there on the ground. So again, hopefully reassure everybody.
Okay, and again, from an agent point of view, if you want to take a look at those health and safety messages, we've got the ATAS members came together and we have a joint message of all those health and safety protocols, so you can take a look at those too. So finally, I guess products like touring and adventure, maybe cruise, ski, sometimes they come with a bit of a fear factor for agents. So to finish off, what's the single top tip that you would give an agent to sell a touring and adventure holidays? But if they're a little bit nervous to do so, how would they overcome that? Rich, let's start with you.
Okay. Can I give two rather than single?
Right,
go on. Okay. Yeah, I'll be quick though. Okay. So single top one is, again, the nervous. It's a slightly different market to say a Mediterranean holiday or a cruise. Ask your local BDM or ask the tour operator what's selling, just for what you might have in your mind as an agent. We've got lots of data on what's selling nationwide. So yeah, ask the tour operator what's selling. And then my quick sneaky one in as well is obviously go with customer confidence. If you try and tie it in with what's on TV as well at the current time, everyone's doing a show, aren't they? Greg Wallace, Julia Bradbury doing her walks. We saw a spike with South Africa when Greg Wallace was doing his program. That's the sort of thing, if you tie it in with the person who's watching the TV, we're all at home watching TV at the moment because there's nothing else to do, and then post, promote that on social media or however, that works really those ways. So TV and ask the operator.
Okay, brilliant. Ben?
Yeah, and can I just support one of those ones that Rich just said about knowing what's kind of on TV and what is booking at the moment? Chernobyl was on Channel 5. There was Ben Fogel, I think, did a documentary on Chernobyl 2 or 3 weeks ago on Channel 5. And then for the following week, that was our top viewed trip online. We've got over 400 trips, so I think Rich's point there is a very, very good one. I'd probably say to always include touring and adventure as an option. So customers might be looking for something more mainstream, maybe a bucket and spade type holiday. But I think as we emerge from COVID, people will be looking for really great, memorable experiences, something that is a little bit different. So don't be afraid to offer our type of product as an option. I think customers might be surprised with the option that customers might choose moving forward.
Perfect. Okay, so I think hopefully some agents have learned a lot about the touring adventure process and how actually, don't forget, it is just a holiday. It's nothing scary. It is just a holiday, but it's a fantastic holiday. So let's start looking at it. So if any of you watching are keen to start selling or increase your sales in touring and adventure holidays, please do check out the ATAS website, touringandadventure.com, as we've got loads of resources there that are able to help you. A big thank you for joining us today, and thank you to my experts Ben and Rich, and see you again soon for another top tips session.
Thanks everyone.
Thanks for listening.